got 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Eric's got mushrooms in his background.
Yeah. Fungus anyway.
Fungus anyway.
You've got 4 viewers on YouTube.
Hey,
Oh,
there's you.
right. Do we know them?
I can hear you.
It doesn't tell me who.
Oh,
All right.
I can hear your
Benny
louder.
says she's from the Causeway Giants fan club.
Oh yes, well she organises it. She normally comes in here actually.
Cameras in different places.
Oh dear.
She normally sneaks in.
Still right.
Yeah, I can't see you at all at the moment, but that doesn't matter. We know you'll be there at the right time.
As soon as it was mute, we should be fine. Okay.
One thing is, I'll just check. Ronnie, are you on this call? Can you hear me, Ronnie? Are you connected? That's good. That's just checking.
I'm the one with
Your
the
opportunities for making sure you can talk to your colleagues. Have you all found the chat box?
Yeah.
There's a chat box, and when we get to the end of each round, when you've marked your own score sheets, then you send me your score on the chat
I'll
box.
do that, Ronnie and Douglas.
Please, I'd be grateful if you do it.
And I will also.
Really talking about you, Kenny, because I know you know where it is.
Jolly good. Jolly good.
Aha. My husband's just sent you all a message on the chat box, so if you have a look. And how are we doing for teams? Do we have Guildford? Yes, we do. Kings Hill, I've seen Kings Hill.
Down for the moment.
I've seen Saltburn.
Plugged in, but we can put the phone down till we start.
I've seen Causeway. Seen their heads. We've got Ashford.
Half of Ashford. Yep.
Yeah, we've got Ashford.
How you doing?
Lowestoft and Great Yarmouth.
Very well, thanks. You all right?
Yeah.
Hello.
31 at the moment.
Very serious.
Maria.
There must be another screen.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep, we've got Diana.
You're going to have a wee chat outside, not related to this. I suggest you mute yourselves. Unless we ask you a question.
We've got Medway.
Oh. Yeah, we're on.
Oh, yeah. You've got your stand. You have, haven't you? You've got your stand. Well done.
I ordered it straight away.
We've got Eyemouth.
33.
That's it. So much easier, isn't it? Yeah.
We'll check in a minute. We'll mute everybody and ask.
So you were beginning to panic, thinking, are they going to join us?
Hang on.
You were beginning to
I
panic.
want to be where we are.
No Northern Ireland this week. Have I just missed it? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I see you waving now. Yeah.
Yes, I can see myself on there now. Can you see me?
Right, I've muted everybody because it's a little bit confusing, especially to those people who have just arrived. So let's go through this again. Could people who are from these places please let us know we're here? Have we got from the top?
Guildford, yes. Kings Hill, yes. Saltburn, yes. Causeway, yes. Ayr, yes. Ashford, yes. Lowestoft and Great Yarmouth, I don't know.
Jenny and Alan Spencer it is. Do you see them? Not sure? Okay.
Not sure. Dagenham I've seen. Medway?
No, I've seen Medway in the chat.
Yes.
Wigan?
Yeah.
Yes, we have Wigan. Fabulous. Welcome.
Eyemouth? Yep, that'll be Eric and Stu Price. St Leonard's we have, and West Lothian we have.
Fabulous. Okay.
You also have Guildford.
Yeah, we have got. Oh, I said that at the beginning. They were the first ones.
So the only ones we're not
The
sure.
only one we're not sure of is Lowestoft and Great Yarmouth. Lowestoft, Great Yarmouth.
Jenny and Alan Spencer. Let's have a look in the chat. It tells you who's everybody there. Maybe they haven't found their way yet. 7 o'clock though.
I'll give that a minute or two, yeah. No, there's no Jenny and Alan.
No.
As far as I can see, no.
Check my emails in case anybody's got lost. I think it's 7:30 or something. Yeah, does anybody have any questions for us before we start? Just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Kenny, sorry, I've lost the connection here. Can you dial me again?
Linda?
No, that's they're talking across each other. Not
All
me.
right.
Not me.
Okay.
Has anybody not got a team member that they're expecting?
So do we make any notes of any restrictions that we can give good?
Right, okay, that's good. Right, Tiho, I'll just put this one in so I can phone it here.
I just got a message, Linda, saying you wanted me to unmute, but I don't think that's right.
Unmute it now, Jen. So,
Well, it's just to give you a chance to ask any questions if you wanted to ask.
I'm fine.
However, somebody's got we've got some feedback from somebody, so I'm going to mute everybody again. There is feedback from somebody and it's interrupting things. So I think we're missing one group, one team. We're supposed to have 12 teams, but I think we've got 11, but we'll see. They might come in a little while. Hopefully not. They're one of our new people. So I don't really have anything else to say, do I?
No.
I'll hand over to Ian, who's across the table from me, and he can unmute himself and tell you all about what's going to happen.
Okay, well, welcome everyone again.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Get you unmuted, yes. Otherwise, we'll get feedback from this end.
Yeah, hang on. Stop. I need to turn that off as well, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, no.
Okay, we think we have sorted the technological problems at this end, that we're meaning we're getting feedback from our computers, which are sitting opposite each other. However, as I say, very warm welcome everyone back, and especially to our new teams from Wigan and St Leonard's, and also, of course, all those who came last month and the month before. We have, as usual, 6 rounds this evening. And those of you who were here for the previous 2 will know that I start going round these islands, or at least so far I have done. First time it was simply a sort of geographical trip round these islands. Last month it was people around the islands. And this month, round 1 will be music around these islands. But don't worry, I'm not going to sing to you. You will escape that particular trauma. So if you don't mind, I'll start right away. We have 10 questions in each round, and round 1, music around these islands. I'm giving you a nice, easy one to start with. Question 1, complete these lyrics from an Irish folk song. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with, and you finish it off. Complete these lyrics from an Irish folk song. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with something. Question 2. Which Merseyside group was the first act ever to reach #1 in the UK charts with their first 3 singles? Which Merseyside group was the first act ever to reach #1 in the UK charts with all 3 of its first 3 singles that it released? You are going back to the 1960s for this one, but then most of us can. Question 3. Sorry?
Check on your speed.
Yeah, could I just check? Could you give me a thumbs up if you think that my pace is okay? Or do you think that I need to go slower or what? People are okay with that? Yeah, okay. Most folk are saying fine. Number 3, strongly influenced by the Jacobite risings, which female member of the Scottish nobility wrote songs including Will You No Come Back Again, Charlie Is My Darling, and The Rowan Tree? Strongly influenced by the Jacobite rising, which female member of the Scottish nobility wrote songs including Will You No Come Back Again, Charlie Is My Darling, and The Rowan Tree? Question number 4. Which traditional Welsh song featured in a key scene in the 1964 film Zulu? Sung by Ivor Emanuel in the film. Which traditional Welsh song featured in a key scene in the 1964 film Zulu? Question 5 is probably the trickiest in this round. What English composer's most famous works included his song settings for the poems of A.E. Houseman entitled A Shropshire Lad? Which English composer's most famous works included his song settings for the poems of A.E. Houseman entitled A Shropshire Lad? Number 6, which Scottish folk rock band, which performed between 1965 and 1971, included Billy Connolly and Jerry Rafferty? Which Scottish folk rock band, which performed between 1965 and 1971, included Billy Connolly and Jerry Rafferty? Just lip read somebody with the right answer there.
Oh. How many other people were watching?
A good question. Maybe they weren't watching the same screen as I was. Number 7, what Welshman, formerly notable in the field of jazz rock, composed the mass called The Armed Man, written for the Millennium celebrations and dedicated to the victims of the conflict in Kosovo? What Welshman, formerly notable in the field of jazz rock, composed the mass called The Armed Man, written for the Millennium celebrations and dedicated to the victims of the conflict in Kosovo? And if you listen to them, played quite regularly on Classic FM, or at least bits of it are. Number 8, Based on a novel by Roddy Doyle, what was the name of the group created for an Alan Parker film of the same name in 1991? Based on a novel by Roddy Doyle, what was the name of the group created for an Alan Parker film of the same name in 1991?
Alan, excuse me, Alan, would you mind slowing down? Sorry, Ian, would you mind slowing down a little bit, please?
Number 9, and I found out yesterday when I tried these questions on my brother that he actually taught this person. Which Scottish singer, who first came to public notice in 1980 in a reality show called The Big Time, went on to win 2 Grammy Awards and to sing a James Bond film song? Which Scottish singer, who first came to fame, public notice rather, in 1980 in a reality program called The Big Time, went on to win 2 Grammy Awards and to sing a James Bond film theme?
Excuse me, Ian, would you mind slowing down a little bit, please?
And number 10, which band shortened its name following censorship by the BBC, which regarded its original name as improper, alleging that it was a translation of a phrase meaning kiss my ass? Which band shortened its name following censorship by the BBC, which regarded its original name as improper, alleging it was a translation of a phrase meaning kiss my ass? Okay, for those who are new, at this point, I always invite anyone who would like a question repeated to unmute themselves and ask for the question to be repeated. Anyone like one repeated?
Yes, please, Ian. I found you were going awfully fast, but halfway through.
Yeah.
Could I have,
I'd like them all
repeat it,
repeated.
please?
Hello?
Ian, can you hear us?
Jill, would it help if I just ran through the whole lot again?
Yes, please. I would prefer that.
No, don't run through them. Go slower.
You can speak, you know.
You can unmute and speak.
We have done. You can't hear us.
Okay, I'll just give a quick refresher of the whole lot. Question 1, complete these lyrics from an Irish folk song. Her eyes they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with something. Number 2, excuse me, which Merseyside group was the first act ever to reach number 1 in the UK charts with all 3 of their first 3 singles? Number 3, strongly influenced by the Jacobite risings, which female member of the Scottish nobility wrote songs including Will Ye No Come Back Again, Charlie Is My Darling, and The Rowan Tree? Number 4, which traditional Welsh song featured in a key scene in the 1964 film Zulu? Number 5, what English composer's most famous works included his song settings for the poems of A.E. Houseman entitled A Shropshire Lad? Number 6, which Scottish folk rock band, which performed between 1965 and 1971, included Billy Connolly and Jerry Rafferty? Number 7, what Welshman, formerly notable in the field of jazz rock, composed the mass called The Armed Man, written for the Millennium celebrations and dedicated to the victims of the conflict in Kosovo? Number 8, based on a novel by Roddy Doyle, what was the name of the group created for an Alan Parker film of the same name in 1991? Number 9, which Scottish singer who first came to public notice in 1980 in a reality program called The Big Time, went on to win 2 Grammy Awards and to sing a James Bond film theme. And finally, which band shortened its name following censorship by the BBC, which regarded its original name as improper, alleging it was a translation of a phrase meaning kiss my ass.
Right, they're still wanting you to slow down. So when we do the next round,
Right.
we need to give a little bit more time.
Could
okay?
we just check, is that slow down as I speak or give longer between questions or both?
I think both from my point of view.
Eric's unmuted.
Ian, yeah, definitely.
Elaine from Kings Hill
Because-
is unmuted, but not. Oh, here's Jill.
Hi, we can't start
I can't hear
discussing
her.
our answer until you've read the question out for the
that would be
second
why.
time. So it would really help if you could give us maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds before you then start reading out the next question.
I didn't have my speaker on the computer, sorry. Jill,
Yeah.
please.
We can't start discussing our answers over WhatsApp until you've read the question out for the second time because we can't hear each other. So it would really
Okay.
help if you could give us sort of 10 to 15 seconds after you've read the question out for the second time before you start the next question. That would be
Okay.
really helpful. Thank you.
Do that. I'll give you about 15 seconds between
Can you
questions.
remind people to mute themselves while they're discussing, though, because we can hear what they're discussing.
Yeah. I can hear what some people are discussing. Please do mute yourselves.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a false start there because Ian had not turned on his speaker, so we couldn't hear what anyone was saying. And I couldn't work out why you were unmuting and we still couldn't hear anything. So now we know. So
Now we know.
Our apologies, technology and all that, eh?
Could I ask whether the teams are ready for the answers? Please indicate yes, no,
Or need a repeat?
Yeah.
or need a repeat. Okay, well, I'll give you another minute or so, okay? Ready yet? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Does any team need a bit longer?
We're ready to go here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the answers are as follows then. Question 1, which I said was a straightforward start, I'll be a bit.
Mr. Host, you're muted.
Aye, so I've just discovered. Okay, the answer to question 1, her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Question 2, the Merseyside group that was the first to go to #1 with each of the first 3 singles was Jerry and the Pacemakers. Number 3, the Scottish noblewoman who wrote those songs was Lady Nairn, Lady Carolina Nairn. Number 4, the traditional Welsh song featured in Zulu was Men of Harlech. Number 5, the English composer who wrote the song settings for the Shropshire Lad is George Butterworth. Number 6, the Scottish folk rock band of which Billy Connolly and Jerry Rafferty were members was the Humble Bums. Number 7, the Welshman who wrote the mass called The Armed Man is Sir Carl Jenkins. Number 8, the name of the group created for the Alan Parker film is The Commitments. Number 9, the Scottish singer who came to notice in The Big Time and then won 2 Grammys and sang a James Bond theme was Sheena Easton. And finally, the band that shortened its name was the Pogues.
I saw a bit of delight from
Did your brother teach at Bellshill Academy, Ian?
My brother did teach at Bellshill Academy, yes.
I grew up in Bellshill. I didn't go to the academy though.
He taught there for less than 1 year, I say,
Right.
and then decided teaching wasn't for him.
Right. I played with our older brother and sister when I was, you know, a
Okay,
child.
there you go. See, coincidence, it gets you every time.
Ian,
So,
Ian,
yes.
for some reason I missed the answers to the first 3 questions there. Could you just give them again, please?
Certainly. Question 1, the answer is a Black Velvet Band.
Yeah.
Question 2 is Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Right.
And 3 is Lady Nairn.
Okay, thank you very much.
So if each team could now send by private message in the chat your score to Linda, she will begin to gather the scores for round 1. Now, round 2 shouldn't give us much difficulty in terms of time because you're going to see the question on the screen as well. Because those of you who were here last time will know that we shared some of our holiday photographs with you. You seem to enjoy it, so here are some more. Only this time, neither of us will be featuring in the photographs.
Oh.
So I'll now share my screen with you once I've got this up. Why is that not showing as a slide?
Press F5. Press
Okay.
F5.
I've got it fixed. So you'll find that in this case, we have questions linked to the photographs. You're not necessarily going to be asked every time to identify where the photograph is of. There may be a linked question. I'll read the questions out as well, but you'll see them on screen. So question 1, this city. Can everyone see it, by the way? Yeah? Can you all see the questions in the photographs? Nobody's answering me.
Presumably that answer is yes then.
Okay. So this
Yes,
city was
I can
under
see
siege
them.
for 7 months in 1991. Which city is it? The flag that you can see might be a wee clue. I'll leave that one for a few minutes, moments, and then move to question 2.
I don't have a total from Wigan.
Sorry?
I don't have a mark from Wigan.
Ah, you get it at the end.
Okay.
Linda says she has marks from every team except Wigan. Could Wigan please forward to Linda your score for round 1? Number 2, to what religion do...
Sorry, Ian, I can't see the actual question at the bottom of the picture.
Oh, well, I'll read it. I'm reading them out anyway. So with a bit of luck, that'll help. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So question 2, to what religion do the worshippers at this temple belong? To what religion do the worshippers at this temple belong? I recall it was a rather wet day the day we visited this one.
It was.
Ready for number 3? Number 3. Name this famous bridge. Can you name this famous bridge? Number 4. This is the River Torrens in the City of Churches. Which city is that? That the River Torrens flows through, and the city is nicknamed the City of Churches. So this is the River Torrens in the City of Churches. Which city is it? Number 5. This is an open-air industrial museum in Victoria, Australia. What industry are these people attempting? An open-air industrial museum in Victoria, Australia. I won't tell you the town because that would give it away. What industry are these people attempting? Number 6, photographed from the middle of a caldera. On what island is this clifftop town? Which you can reach by 2 means. You can either go up in a modern lift, or you can go up along a very winding track on the back of a donkey. We chose the lift. Photographed from the middle of a caldera. On what island is this clifftop town? Number 7, what is the Aboriginal name for this monolith? What is the Aboriginal name for this monolith? I don't want the European name, the name the Europeans gave it, I want the Aboriginal name. Number 8. This is the harbour of a capital city which was named after a Grand Master of the Knights Hospitallers who led the city in defending a siege in the 16th century. Which city? This is the harbour of a capital city named after a Grand Master of the Knights Hospitallers who led the city in defending a siege in the 16th century. Which city? Spectacular harbour. Number 9. What dwelling can be seen behind the tribespeople in national dress at the World Nomad Games? What type of dwelling can be seen behind the tribespeople in national dress at the World Nomad Games? This was in a place called Kirchin Gorge in Kyrgyzstan. So what's the name of the traditional dwelling place that can be seen behind the tribespeople in national dress? And number 10, a smoking volcano on an island in the Tyrrhenian Sea. What is its name? The island and the volcano have the same name. A smoking volcano on an island in the Tyrrhenian Sea. What is its name? And you may be a little astonished at such a live volcano that there's a settlement down near the bottom of the mountain.
Crazy people.
A smoking volcano on an island in the Tyrrhenian Sea. So what is its name? Okay, once again, if anyone would like to see any of these questions again, let me know and I'll re-show them.
Number 4, please.
Right, I'll possibly have to share the screen again. Oh no, it
No,
says
I
I
can
am.
still see it.
No, it's still there.
Okay. There you are, the River Torrens. That's us actually in a wee boat on the River Torrens in the city of Churches. Which is the city? Any others? Are we ready for the answers then? If we are, I'll just go back to the beginning and run through them. This city was under siege for 7 months in 1991. The Croatian flag might help you. It is Dubrovnik. Number 2, this is a Hindu temple on the island of Sri Lanka. All the other temples we visited in that were Buddhist ones, but this one was a Hindu. This famous bridge is the Rialto Bridge in Venice. Number 4, the River Torrens in the city of Churches is in Adelaide, South Australia. Number 5, the people here at Ballarat are panning for gold. So gold mining or trying to extract gold, anything that mentions the word gold will do. Number 6, we have here the island, the Greek island of Santorini. Number 7, Uluru, U-L-U-R-U is the Aboriginal name for what Europeans have called Ayers Rock. Number 8, this is the Grand Harbour at Valletta, Malta. Number 9, the type of dwelling is a yurt, Y-U-R-T. That's the big tent type structure in the background. And number 10, with a Disney link here, because he gave the name of this volcano to a villain in Pinocchio, it is Stromboli. So once again, if you could send your answers to Linda before we move on to round 3.
Could we have the answer to number 1? We missed it, please.
Number 1 is
the answer to number 1.
Dubrovnik.
Oh, Dubrovnik. Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Dubrovnik. Okay. Round 3 is going to be on food and drink. So question number 1 for food and drink. Apart from London, which other English city has a variety of gin named after it? Until 2015, it was covered by protected geographical indicator status. Apart from London, which other English city has a variety of gin named after it? Until 2015, it was covered by protected geographical indication legislation. I'll give you a moment or two to consult. Question number 2. Of which country did one of its leading politicians say How can you govern a country that has 246 varieties of cheese? Of which country did one of its leading politicians say, how can you govern a country that has 246 varieties of cheese? Are we ready for number 3? Okay, number 3, the traditional recipe for which cocktail included cognac, orange liqueur such as Cointreau or Grand Marnier, and lemon juice. The traditional recipe for which cocktail includes cognac, orange liqueur such as Cointreau or Grand Marnier, and lemon juice. Number 4, which type of Italian food are grissini, Grissini? What type of Italian food are grissini, Grissini? Good girl, thank you.
The lights are drawing in.
Question 5. What is done to malted barley before brewing to produce beers called Rauchbier in Germany? That's spelled Rauchbier. What is done to malted barley before brewing to produce beers called Rauchbier in Germany? Rauchbier. Number 6. Ceviche, spelled Ceviche, a dish of raw fish marinated in citrus juices, is the official national dish of which South American country? Ceviche, Ceviche, a dish of raw fish marinated in citrus juices, is the official national dish of which South American country? Number 7. What is the name of the South African dish of a hollowed out loaf of bread filled with curry? It is particularly associated with the city Durban. What is the name of the South African dish of a hollowed out loaf of bread filled with curry? It is particularly associated with the city of Durban, having been brought there by migrants from India. Number 8. What is the main flavouring of the liqueur Sambuca? What is the main flavouring of the liqueur Sambuca?
Please repeat.
Certainly. What is the main flavouring of the liqueur Sambuca? S-A-M-B-U-C-A. What's the main flavouring of Sambuca? What gives it its taste? Number 9. In what country did the melted cheese dish fondue originate? In what country did the melted cheese dish fondue originate? And number 10, to which alcoholic drink should you add lime and cranberry juice to make a cocktail called a Scarlet O'Hara? The clue is in the name Scarlet O'Hara to an extent. To which alcoholic drink should you add lime and cranberry juice to make a cocktail called a Scarlet O'Hara? And once again, if anyone would like a question repeated, please unmute yourself and just ask me.
Can we have number 7, please?
Number 4.
7.
Oh, sorry, number 7. Number 7. What is the name of the South African dish made of a hollowed out loaf of bread filled with curry? It is particularly associated with the city of Durban. Any others?
Could we have number 10 again, please?
Number 10?
Yes, please.
To which alcoholic drink should you add lime and cranberry juice to make a cocktail called a Scarlet O'Hara? To which alcoholic drink should you add lime and cranberry juice to make a cocktail called a Scarlet O'Hara? Let me know when you're ready. Okay. I'm getting the feeling teams are ready. So here are the answers. Round 1, other than London, the English city with a variety of gin named after is Plymouth. Number 2, the country of which one of its leading politicians said, "How can you govern a country that has 246 varieties of cheese?" is France. That was said by General de Gaulle. Number 3, the cocktail made from cognac, orange liqueur and lemon juice is a sidecar. Number 4, Italian grissini are bread sticks. Number 5, what is done to malted barley before brewing to produce Rauch beer in Germany? It's dried over an open flame or it's smoked. Either will do. Number 6, ceviche, the dish of raw fish marinated in citrus juices, is the official national dish of Peru. Number 7, the South African dish of hollowed out loaf of bread filled with curry is called bunny chow. B-U-N-N-Y chow. Number 8, sambuca is flavored with aniseed or anise. Number 9, the melted cheese dish fondue comes from Switzerland originally. And number 10, the alcoholic drink to which you add lime and cranberry juice to make a Scarlet O'Hara. I did say the clue was in the name Scarlet O'Hara, which suggests somewhere south of the southern states of the USA, and the answer is Southern Comfort. I shall, however, if anybody has put this, I'll accept it as well, because you do get it, some recipes that say it, that I'll also accept rye whiskey, but it's mainly at Southern Comfort, but I'll accept rye whiskey as an alternative.
We can have the thingies for the first 2 rounds if you want.
Right, Linda tells me she is ready with the total scores for rounds 1 and 2. So I'll ask her to share the spreadsheet with you.
And could you double check that I've got them right, because I got it a bit wrong last week, but I keep double checking.
Well, our reigning champions look to be setting the pace again. 10 out of 10 for both rounds for the Causeway Giants. Saltburn very close behind. Airheads in 3rd place. Wigan in 4th place, and all very close together. There's only 4 points between 1st and 4th. Then a couple of teams on 12, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more on 11. So well done.
Anything wrong with any of them?
Everybody satisfied that their scores have been recorded accurately? Right. Now I'm going to try an experimental round.
Oh dear.
Very much experimental. It's called Classical Music in Film. I'm going to play you 10 pieces of classical music. I'm going to tell you that each of these pieces featured either in the opening credits or in a key scene in the film. And I'm going to tell you the name of the, or rather, I'm going to tell you the year in which the film was released. If it will help, I will tell you the name of the piece of music as well. You have to identify the film. Okay, it's a bit of an experiment, but we'll try it and see how it goes.
Query. Someone got bourbon for question 10. Is that allowed?
Yes, because it is a rye whiskey.
Okay.
Now, just bear with me for a moment while I get this round opened up on my screen. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is to run a test, which is not part of the quiz. It's just to make sure you can hear the music. So I'm sharing the music now. Please make sure, can you hear this? Okay, did people hear that okay? Yes, good. Then number 1, I want to know which film released in 1968 featured this piece of classical music. If you need to, I'll give you the name of the piece of music afterwards. Okay. That music accompanied a film released in 1968. What film? Does anyone need me to tell them what the name of the piece of music is? Or even to replay the music? Nope. Okay, number 2 then. Accompanied a key scene in a film released in 1945. Okay, does anyone want to know what the name of that piece of music is? Nope.
Was that number 2?
That was number 2, yes.
Fine.
Question 3. This accompanied a key scene in a film released in 1986. This is number 3. There almost couldn't be a bigger contrast between the music and the action in that one. That was number 3. Anyone want to know the name of it?
Yes, please.
It was Samuel Barber's Adagio for Strings. So what film of 1986 did that accompany? Number 4 is from a film which was released in 1994. Again, a key scene in the film. I'll just tell you that that was the letter duet from Mozart's Marriage of Figaro. Which film was it played during a key scene of a film released in 1994? Number 5, I won't need to tell you the name of this, you're all going to recognize it. But what film of 1979 did it accompany? Which film of 1979 did that accompany? The next one is the Adagietto from Gustav Mahler's Fifth Symphony, and the film it accompanied was released in 1971. 1971 film accompanied by Mahler's Adagietto.
Wait, give us space.
Give space, okay. Number 7 is the second movement of Beethoven's 7th Symphony, and it accompanied a very critical scene in a film released in 2010. Okay then, film of 2010. Which film did that extract from Beethoven's 7th go along with? Number 8, you'll recognize the music all right, and it's a very recent film. It's 2015 that this one was released, and again, it's a key scene in the film. Which film of 2015? So Nessun Dorma accompanying a key scene in which film of 2015? Number 19, back to Beethoven, his 9th Symphony, second movement, and this was integral to the plot of the film, which was released in 1971, and indeed to one of the characters as well. Second movement of Beethoven's 9th, integral both to the plot and indeed featuring one of the characters, one of the characters was influenced by it, in which film of 1971. And finally, a film of 1940. I don't think I'll need to tell you what this piece is, so I'll just play. 1940 film. Okay, that's number 10. Which film of 1940 did that one feature in? Now, does anyone want to have anything repeated?
Ian, number 8.
Number 8, here it comes. It was actually played over the top of the action on this one. Film is 2015. Any of the others?
Yeah, number 7, please, Ian.
7 it comes. Beethoven's 7th film was 2010. Once again, any others?
Could you tell me what number The Ride of the Valkyries was played for?
Number 5.
Number 5, thank you.
Anyone else need any help? Or other than give me the answer, which I won't do.
Can we have number 4 again, please?
Certainly you can. The Letter Duet from The Marriage of Figaro, and the film was from 1994. Film playing that recording got somebody into trouble.
The music for number 8, please.
Number 8? I've already replayed that one. That's Nessun Dorma.
Nessun Dorma.
From Turandot by Puccini. Film was 2015. Anyone want anything else? Ready to move to the answers then? Okay, here are the answers. Question 1 was Also sprach Zarathustra by Richard Strauss, and it was from 2001, A Space Odyssey. Number 2 was Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto, the second movement, and came from, you can close your eyes, you can hear Trevor Howard and Celia Johnson talking to each other in Brief Encounter. Number 3, Samuel Barber's beautiful Adagio for strings was played over the top of helicopters going into assault Vietnam in Platoon. Number 4, The Letter Duet was from The Shawshank Redemption. Number 5, The Ride of the Valkyries, more helicopters going in to create mayhem from Apocalypse Now. Number 6, the Adagietto from Mahler was played in Visconti's Death in Venice. Number 7, the second movement of Beethoven's 7th was over Colin Firth making The King's Speech. Number 8, Nessun Dorma from Turandot was played while Tom Cruise was up on a gantry over the operatic stage in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Number 9, the second movement of the Ninth Symphony by Beethoven was played by Malcolm McDowell's character in A Clockwork Orange. And number 10, The Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Dukas was from Fantasia. So I hope you enjoyed the round. It's maybe a wee bit unusual, but it was just I thought I'd try it and see how it worked. I apologise if you got 0, but I hope it was worth doing anyway. Have you got the scores for up to round 3, Linda?
I do.
Linda will now share with you the halfway scores. Whoa, Saltburn have taken the lead. 29 out of 30. These are very high scores. 28 for Causeway, 25 for Ayr, and for Wigan, 19 for Dagenham. These are very good scores indeed. Clearly, very maybe challenging in some areas, but it's not challenging our top 3 teams very heavily, or top 4 teams rather very heavily. They're in great form. Well done, folks. So we'll move on to round 5 now. And for those who were here before, the format of this will be familiar because it's another initial letter link. And what happens here is I'll ask you 9 general knowledge questions. And what you have to do is answer those 9 questions and then take the very first letter of each answer and anagram it. And in this case, you're going to make the name of a brand of automobile from your anagram. So answer the 9 questions. If you get them right, then the initial letters of the first word in each answer will give you the name of the brand of automobile. Question number 1. In Greek mythology, which mountain nymph fell in love with Narcissus, but could not tell him, as Hera had placed a curse on her, which only allowed her to repeat the last words spoken to her? In Greek mythology, which mountain nymph fell in love with Narcissus, but could not tell him, as Hera had placed a curse on her, which only allowed her to repeat the last words spoken to her? We're ready. I'll go into question number 2. Puck from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is also known by what other 2-word name? Puck from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is also known by what 2-word name? And for the anagram, you'll be wanting the first letter of the first word. We're ready. Question number 3. When it is alloyed with iron, which metal forms at least 10.5% of the elements in making stainless steel? When it is alloyed with iron, which metal forms at least 10.5% of the elements in making stainless steel? Stainless steel cannot be called stainless steel unless it has at least 10.5% of this element in it. Question number 4. Which English city is the setting for the fictional diaries of Adrian Mole in the books by Sue Townsend? Which English city is the setting for the fictional diaries of Adrian Mole in the stories by, in the books rather, by Sue Townsend? Question number 5. Of which country is Addis Ababa the capital? Of which country is Addis Ababa the capital? Number 6. On which social medium are posts restricted to 280 characters? On which social medium are posts restricted to 280 characters? Decent scores. Good. Number 7. What word is used as the country name on the coins and stamps of Switzerland? What word is used as the country name on the coins and postage stamps of Switzerland? Number 8. I don't often indulge my interest in football, but there is one football question here. Which member of the 1978 World Cup winning Argentina team went on to both play for and manage Tottenham Hotspur in England? And you'll need both his first and second names for the answer, because you need the initial letter of his first name for the anagram. Which member of the 1978 World Cup winning Argentina team went on to play for and to manage Tottenham Hotspur in England? Of course, 2 members of that team went on to play for Tottenham, but only one of them went on to manage them as well. Number 9. What is the name of the bluish-green patina formed on copper or brass through the chemical process of oxidation? What is the name of the blue-green patina formed on copper or brass through the chemical process of oxidation? And I don't want the copper, the chemical name copper oxide. I do not want that. One word, please. That's the 9 questions. What you now have to do is take the initial letters of the first word in each answer, anagram them, and come up with a brand of automobile. And again, as usual, if anyone would like a question repeated, unmute and ask.
Hi, it's John from Wigan. Can we get number 4, please?
You can. Which English city is the setting for the fictional diaries of Adrian Mole in the books by Sue Townsend? Anyone else? Are we ready for me to give you the answers, or do you need more time to work out the anagram?
The football one, please, again, Ian.
The football one, okay. Which member of the 1978 World Cup winning Argentina team went on to play for and to manage Tottenham Hotspur in England?
Yes, we need more time, please, for the anagram.
That's okay. That's absolutely fine with that. Have a look at the Wigan one. Take this photograph off and put Wigan U3A up.
I've just seen that.
Yeah.
That's been up there like since the beginning.
Oh, has it? Oh, I noticed.
Somebody's given me the answer to the final answer.
You don't need to message Linda with the answer to the anagram. Somebody apparently has done that.
They're right too.
They're right as well, are they? Oh, well, there you go. Somebody's got it worked out. By the look of the reaction there, that might be Angela.
Nope.
From Medway, no?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You ready to go? Anybody still need any longer to work out the anagram? No? Okay, here are the answers then. The nymph in Greek mythology who fell in love with Narcissus was Echo. E-C-H-O, Echo. Number 2, Puck from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is also known as Robin Goodfellow. Number 3, the alloy with iron to form stainless steel is chromium. Number 4, Adrian Mole's diary is set in Leicester. Number 5, Addis Ababa is the capital of Ethiopia. Number 6, the social medium on which posts are restricted to 280 characters is Twitter. Number 7, the word used for the country name on the coins and postage stamps of Switzerland is Helvetia, H-E-L-V-E-T-I-A. The Helvetic Republic is the country's proper name. Number 8, the Argentinian World Cup winner who played for and managed Tottenham was Osvaldo Ardiles. Ricky Villa from the same team also joined Spurs but did not manage them. So Osvaldo Ardiles. Number 9, the blue-green patina formed in copper and brass through oxidation is Verdigris. And the brand of automobiles is Chevrolet. And once again, could you please send your scores to Linda? And this time, because it's coming up to the last round, we'll give a minute or two in case anybody wants a comfort break, a wee drink, or whatever, and Linda will give us the scores after 5 rounds before we do the final round. Okay. And you will make a decision about the final round.
Right. I'll be quick then.
Why?
If you want the final thingies now.
No, take your time.
Well, that was too easy a round.
Was it? Everybody get them 10?
Definitely too easy a round.
Looks like very high scores in that round. Okay, Linda's just typing the scores into her spreadsheet, and then she'll share it with us. But let me ask you for your decision on the final round. In some quizzes that I go to, we make the final round what's called a wipeout. Now, in a wipeout, you don't have to write an answer for every question, but if you write down an answer that proves to be wrong, you lose all the points for that round. But if you get all 10 right, you get a bonus of 5 points, so you get 15 points for the round. Okay, so if you write down a wrong, no penalty for a blank, but if you write down an answer that turns out to be wrong, you score 0 for the final round. But if you get all 10 right, you score 15 for the final round. If you leave blanks, then you just get points for the ones you get right. Now, do you want to have the wipeout, or do you not want it as a wipeout, in which case it'll just be 1 point per question as usual? How many would like the wipeout? Nobody. Okay, fair enough. We'll just have a point per question then as usual. We play this one in a pub quiz quite a lot, and play a wipeout round, and it can be great fun, and frequently it decides who wins. We have been wiped out on numerous occasions, and sadly I have been responsible for the wipeout on quite a few of these. Just ask Linda.
Yep. Smart, I won't say that. Right,
Scores coming up.
I think that's right, because I threw them in a bit quick.
Can you check your scores and make sure they're all correct? We need the addition as well.
Sorry?
So 47 for Causeway Giants and for Saltburn Quizzers. 44 for the Airheads. No, what did 30 odd? So 37 for Causeway Giants, 37 for Saltburn Quizzers. No, it's got to be 47. I'm silly. I've missed something there. 47 for the top two.
Automatically, it shouldn't be wrong.
No, I know, but I'm adding them up and giving 30 something instead of 40 something.
That's what I mean. Don't argue with the computer.
Because the computer's not giving me a total.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it's covered by these pictures then. How can I drag them out of the way?
There's a little making it smaller thing.
Ah, there we are. Right, okay, sorry. Now I can see the appropriate column. 2 47s, a 44, 43, a batch of 32s and 31s. So we got a four-way battle at the top as we come into the last one. These are very, very high scores.
Someone sent me a message.
So the general knowledge round to finish then, 10 general knowledge rounds. Because you don't want the wipeout, we'll just have 1 point for each correct answer. Question 1. William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and Robert Southey are known by what collective name? William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and Robert Southey were known by what collective name? Question 2. What nationality was the film star and world-ranked bridge player Omar Sharif? What nationality was the film star and world-ranked bridge player Omar Sharif? Number 3. Munros are mountains in Scotland over 3,000 feet high. What name is given to mountains between 2,500 and 2,999 feet in height? Munros are mountains in Scotland over 3,000 feet high. What name is given to mountains between 2,500 and 2,999 feet? Question number 4. In 1960, which country became the first in the world to have a female prime minister? In 1960, which country became the first in the world to have a female prime minister? Question 5. The American artist John James Audubon, spelled A-U-D-U-B-O-N, became famous for his paintings of which creatures? The American artist John James Audubon became famous for his paintings of which creatures? Number 6. In women's athletic field events, which throwing event has the longest world record? In women's athletic field events, which throwing event has the longest world record? Of all the throwing events that women take part in track and field, which world record is the longest? And which of the disciplines is the world record the longest? Number 7. Which object's name in French is une parapluie? P-A-R-A-P-L-U-I-E. Which object's name in French is une parapluie?
Could you spell that again? I missed it.
Certainly. P-A-R-A-P-L-U-I-E. Une parapluie.
Thank you.
Number 8. The Mackenzie River is the longest river in which country? The Mackenzie River, M-A-C-K-E-N-Z-I-E, is the longest river in which country? Number 9. In which town is the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the world? In which town is the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the world? And 10. During what phase of sleep do we experience most of the dreams that we can recall after waking? In what phase or stage of sleep do we experience most of the dreams that we can recall after waking? And once again, if anyone would like to have a question repeated, please unmute and let's have them.
Yeah.
Number 6, please, Ian.
Number 6, Shirley, yep. In women's athletic field events, which of the throwing events has the longest world record?
Ian, do you mean the longest held world record or just physically?
No, I mean the greatest distance.
Right, fine. Just clarify.
Could you repeat number 9, please, Ian?
Number 9, in which town is the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the world?
It's definitely the javelin.
I managed to mute him.
No, you didn't. I heard it.
What?
I heard them.
Yeah, but I muted it as quick as I could.
Yeah. Any other question want to be repeated?
Ian, could we get number 3, please?
You can. Munros are mountains in Scotland over 3,000 feet high. What name is given to mountains between 2,500 and 2,999 feet in height? In other words, just below a Munro.
Do you want the town for the whiskey? The town?
Yes. Yes, please. The town. Any more? Are we ready for the answers? Okay, then here are the answers. Question 1, William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge and Robert Southey are collectively known as the Lake Poets. Number 2, the film star and world-ranked bridge player Omar Sharif was Egyptian. Number 3, Munros are over 3,000 feet. The ones just below are called Corbetts, C-O-R-B-E-T-T-S. Number 4, in 1960, the country to become the first to have a female prime minister was Sri Lanka. I will accept Ceylon because at the time she was prime minister, the island was still called Ceylon. Sirimo Bandaranaike. Number 5, John James Audubon became famous for his paintings of birds, his famous book of paintings, Birds of America. Number 6, I'm sorry, Kenny, but you're wrong because the javelin is 72, javelin world record is 72 meters. The hammer throw is 10 meters further, 82 meters and 98 centimeters for women's hammer throw. How somebody chucked a hammer 10 meters longer than anybody else has thrown a javelin, I don't know, but that's the official world records. Number 7, une parapluie in French is an umbrella. Number 8, the Mackenzie River is in Canada. Number 9, the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the world is in Bushmills, Northern Ireland. And number 10, the phase of sleep in which we experience dreams that we can recall is called eye movement, or REM. Once again, if you could add up your scores and pass them to Linda and we'll get the final results. Well, I hope there'll be final results because this could be a tie for the first time ever.
Did you get yourself a thingy?
I have a tie-break question in mind, yes. Just in case.
Yeah, Ian, over the fact the hammer's further than the javelin, it's because they changed the shape of the javelin about 10 years back because the men were throwing.
Does that explain it?
They deliberately changed the weighting of it so it can't go as far. I think they changed the women's at the same time.
Yeah, well, the men's javelin is still longer than the hammer, but in the women's, it's the other way around.
Yes, it's. I think you have a difficulty throwing it fast enough, as it were, to get it, to get it up the right angle to get the longest distance.
I'll take your word for that, but
I forgot about the hammer because I was actually thinking of the heptathlon. The ones in that, so the hammer's not in that. But you didn't say that. You said all women's event.
I did.
Ian, what was the last answer, please?
The last answer is REM, or rapid eye movement.
Right, thank you. It was feedback when I was.
Okay. Well, rapid eye movement is the last one. Scores coming in, Linda?
Yep, got them all.
Got them all, right?
I haven't put them on yet.
Oh no, Linda's about to type up the final scores.
Have a chat.
Yeah.
People talked about their thingy the last time.
Oh, right.
Which?
Talked about their group though.
Okay. Anybody want to give us any information about your own U3A group? Last time some folk were swapping reminiscences and stories about their own U3A group and the kinds of activities you get involved in.
Well, we live very near Rushmills.
Uh-huh.
Sample it frequently.
Oh, strange feedback somewhere.
Somebody's fire alarm's gone off.
I was doing a tutorial yesterday afternoon, and one of the poor guys had terrible feedback from his computer. We had to keep him muted the whole time.
Oh dear.
And when I did allow him to unmute to ask something, just didn't hear what he was saying.
The odds are that sounds as though there was somebody else on Zoom in the same room.
I wondered if a hearing aid maybe affects.
I hope not, because I'm wearing one.
Yeah, maybe not all of them, maybe just some.
Oh.
Those of us who have been teachers, wouldn't it have been wonderful to have a mute all facility in your classroom?
Indeed, it would have.
It was called a hard stare.
What?
I had one. It was called a hard stare. You just look at them hard enough and they shut up.
A stern glare.
No, actually, to be serious, I tended to find that if it was getting noisier than I wanted, I got quieter. And suddenly the class realised that and they went quiet too.
That's right. It took me a long time to learn that.
That never worked for me.
Worked for me.
We were told that in a refresher course I did because I'd been away for a long time and went back. That just didn't work for me.
I just stood in the middle of the room and went very quiet indeed. And gradually,
Ian.
why is he not saying anything? What's the matter?
Ian, Stuart Pollard from Causeway.
Yes,
but despite the fact I'm in Northern Ireland, you can probably detect a Glasgow accent. Just a supplementary to your question about Munros and Corbetts.
Yeah.
Do you know there is a whole series, and I can't remember exactly, but I think those that are less than 500 feet are called Marylands, which is not entirely coincidence.
I did know there was at least one more below Corbett, but I can't remember offhand what it was called.
But there's Ben's as well.
You would have thought
Ben is not.
Marylands were the biggest.
In Scotland, a Ben is not necessarily linked to the height. It's just a name. It's not linked to the height.
There was some question on one of the quiz programs, and it put Ben's in a certain category.
No, Ben is basically Anglicisation of the Gaelic for mountain. Ben.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just
it's through the Ben Heath.
Yeah.
Ben McDwee, Ben.
Amazing what
Ben
you
Moore,
start.
there's
You just ask that
millions of
simple
them
question,
around.
isn't it? How are we doing?
That means big mountain.
Actually, the
nice.
Come on, Linda.
Linda is ready to share the final scores, I think.
It's all this technology and it scares me sometimes. I don't know.
yeah. The only thing we couldn't hear from you.
Right.
Here we go. Here are the answers. Here's the final scores.
Can you see these totals at the end?
Yep, I can. Oh no, it's a draw.
It was that hammer one got everybody stuck.
Causeway and Saltburn 56 each. That's a heck of a score.
Ask them if they agree.
Do you both agree with the scores?
Everybody agrees.
In fact, does everybody agree with the scores that are against you?
Yes.
Well, some very high scores, but we actually have a tie break.
And I bet you've got tiebreakers.
I have one tiebreaker because it's going to be who gets nearer.
All right.
And it's according to the official figures.
How are you going to do it? How are they going to give you the answer?
They're going to send it to you on private chat.
Okay.
So could each of the two teams that are in the playoff send an estimate to Linda of the official figures for the total number of tourists who visited Paris in 2018? And the one that gets nearer wins. What are the official estimated total visitors to Paris in 2018? How many tourist visitors to Paris in 2018? Send your answer to Linda by private chat. I had this one as an emergency tiebreaker a few months ago in another quiz. I'm using it again.
Just one question.
Yeah.
Are you including Disneyland because that's in the Paris area? Disneyland Paris.
I don't think so, but I'm only going by the official number of tourists that visited the city of Paris. I don't think we're including Disneyland, no.
Who on earth would know the answer to that one?
What I'll do is I'll quite simply nip onto Google right now and check that.
You've got one answer.
Okay. The figure I'm going to use.
Oh yeah, you don't tell anyone.
No. The figure I'm going to use is the number of tourist arrivals in hotels in Paris, and actually it's been updated in 2019. How many tourist arrivals were there in hotels in Paris? So you can revise your answer if you want, having heard that.
So it's 2019 in hotels.
How many tourist arrivals were there in hotels in Paris in 2019? And please confirm your answer to Linda when you're ready.
Some of our Air U3A people were actually supposed to be going to Paris next month, weren't they?
Were they indeed?
Yes, they were.
Well, I don't think they'll be doing so.
No, they are not going next month.
Do you have answers from the two teams?
No.
No? Okay.
Ah, good gracious. One of the teams gave me an answer. They wanted it first. They wanted to revise it in the eyes of in
the light of my clarification.
Yeah. Or are you wanting to stay the same?
Which team was that?
Saltburn.
Right, Saltburn. Do you want to keep the answer you sent to Linda now that I've clarified it as the number of tourist arrivals in hotels in Paris in 2019? Do you want to keep it or do you want to change it?
You'll find that there's a new answer coming.
They've changed it. Okay.
I'm quite pleased that they changed it because they both went for the same answer. Which is absolutely unbelievable. Actually.
Okay.
But what is the right answer?
The answer?
I'd love to know.
Well, you tell me what the two teams said.
Well, one said 38 million and the other one 35 million.
35.4.
Wow.
So whoever said 35 million is the winner.
Saltburn.
Saltburn, congratulations. You have won this month's quiz.
Well done.
35.4 million is the answer. Well done. And actually, 38 million is not far away either.
No, it's pretty close.
So there we are. Thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed the quiz, and the plan will be to run another one on the equivalent Wednesday at the end of September if you would like to take part.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Very much. Thank you. Great quiz. Great quiz. Thank you.